Hey there, welcome back. It's Lucas Catton. And as we have been going through quite a bit of stuff here in the US in the last few days and weeks, and really throughout the whole year, honestly, in a lot of different ways, and as well as a lot of people throughout the world, it made me question, or I started to look at what are some of the things that I believe in, and what are my beliefs in with regards to myself, with regards to other people, and other situations and the world as a whole, And I shared a video a few months ago about question everything, but don't be cynical. And this kind of piggybacks on that a little bit, but really so much of what it is that we believe actually dictates what happens in our lives, because those beliefs change how we view things and how we act and react with different people and in different situations, and can change the outcome just based on where that initial belief started. It also winds up doing things such as limiting ourselves, or not allowing things to happen a certain way, or shutting things out, or beliefs can be very damaging for sure, but they can also be very freeing and very uplifting. And I think that it's good for all of us to examine our beliefs, starting with what we believe about ourselves. And when we hear some of those things, some of those internal scripts that go on, and we look at how we view ourselves and where we see ourselves going, or what we see ourselves doing, or how we see ourselves as a whole, like in interacting with other people and things like that, then we can get down to going, okay, where did that belief come from? Is this something that I truly believe? Is this something that someone told me? Is this belief coming from a message in pop culture, or did it come from, a past situation or past relationship, or any of these things? Like, where do these beliefs come from about ourselves? And can they be changed? Can we drop them? Can we improve them? Can we, what sort of thing can we then identify as being potentially harmful or holding ourselves back in some way? And it can also help point out, things that we may need to improve upon. What are some things that we do need to look deeply in? I had written something about a blog post about that on my site, about introspection, and how really asking ourselves a lot of questions can help produce a lot of answers and figure out where we are. And so similar to that is questioning the beliefs about ourselves and how we see our roles in life, and how we see ourselves in relation to all of our various acquaintances and family members, and our jobs, and our futures, and all that sort of thing. That, of course, also goes beyond that. And what do we believe in regarding other people? And with the turmoil that has been happening here in the United States, and I have friends politically on both ends of the spectrum, just about, maybe not the most radical ends of either, quote unquote, either side, but definitely some very strong beliefs on both those sides. And I find myself continually in the middle of things, because I have tried to be, I don't want to say neutral, because there are some things that I feel strongly about and other things I don't, but at least to be able to question the fervent approach or response that some people get when somebody else has a different set of beliefs than they do, and the level of discord that escalates into hate and violence. If we strip all that back and go back to what beliefs are driving these people to do these various things, and if we do that ourselves, what beliefs produce this feeling and about someone else, or about someone else's set of ideals, or about their beliefs, and go, where does that come from? What is this something that I truly hold as my own belief? Or is it something that is being told to me that I haven't verified, or that I assume because it's coming from a certain source, or I, want to believe because I have this other belief, and this other source may have a belief that coincides with that, or this party, or this, person, or this book, or whatever it is. Do I really believe everything that also stands for, or that also is saying. And unfortunately, because so many of us have a natural tendency to be unwilling to be wrong, or to be unwilling to admit that we have been fooled, something that I have had to do many times, and still continue to do, and as far as questioning those things and go, oh gosh, I can't believe I believe that. But I wanted to believe it for whatever reason, because I wanted to think that I was doing something good, or I wanted to think that I had the best interest of others in mind. And it's not until that I may see a new situation and go, oh, this belief actually hurts that person. Maybe I shouldn't believe that, or maybe I can tweak that in some way, because I'm not trying to hurt that person or that group of people or that sort of thing. And if any of this is making sense, that I'm jumping from personal beliefs about ourselves and how it can limit us, but also looking at beliefs that we then buy into that are coming from some other sources. How can we dissect those from a religious standpoint, from a political standpoint, from an economic standpoint, from a racially diverse standpoint, to other social situations? Like, how can we take a look at these sets of beliefs that we hold so dear, in some cases, to the point where we're willing to attack even family members and even other groups that we are so-called supporting? How can we examine these beliefs and be honest and say, maybe some of those beliefs aren't true, or maybe they don't serve me, or maybe they don't serve others, and there's some other way that I can hold this aspect of it and also change another part so that it serves both of us? Or how can I verify that what someone has told me is true? Or do I feel that is true? Does it really resonate with me on the inside if I take a deeper look and say, is this really what I truly believe in? Or am I going along because I'm caught up in a movement, or because I'm caught up in some other set of ideals that I then go along with these things too? And I think that when taking a look at ourselves and taking a look at others and then applying those to situations in life all around, that if we're constantly examining what it is that we believe, why we believe it, and where those beliefs came from, then we start to increase our awareness about that. And all of a sudden, maybe we let go of some of these closely held beliefs that don't serve us anymore, or that were false to begin with. And when it comes to divisions within society, we can start to come together more often, because we see that in most cases, people actually want the same thing. There may be an opposing view or an opposing point or opposing thing here or there that then gets latched onto, that then all of a sudden creates this huge confrontation with. But the majority of people are good people trying to do the best they can with what they have, what they know, and the circumstances that they're in. They're not actively trying to hurt other people. Most people aren't going about their lives with that intent. So if we can step back and say, okay, again, what do I believe about myself and why? Where did that come from? What do I believe about others? And in specific, let's say maybe opposing groups or opposing ideas or opposing beliefs, and take a little bit deeper look, find out where, why, whether it serves you, whether it really rings true with or resonates with you, and if not, how we can modify, adjust, change those going forward. I had a conversation with someone who fairly recently had a very, was somewhat agreeable on a lot of different topics, but there was a couple points that were held very strongly. And, I tried to explain to this person that, there's a lot of things that we could actually agree on if that one point were loosened up, or and in reverse, the same thing. Like what could I potentially loosen up on or give some credit that I wasn't willing to give credit to before? And it helped. It definitely helped, because what felt as some animosity toward this person then, relaxed, and I was like, okay, I get it. Maybe this isn't going to resolve, but at least we don't have to be, at each other's throats, so to speak, or that kind of thing. So that's really what I would like to invite you to do, is to examine Your beliefs, do they serve you? Where do they come from? Do they apply today? Were they accepted as true as a young child, for example, because someone else told you that, or because that was where you were brought up, or the type of indoctrination that you were given, as you developed as a child? Really taking a look. Maybe some things are geographical. Maybe some things are, really only apply in certain circumstances, but in others they don't. But being willing to look, and being willing to question, and being willing to examine is a huge first step for all of us being able to come together. We're not always going to agree. That wouldn't be any fun if everybody just agreed with everything else. But we certainly can agree to continually question and to try to come together and meet in a place that is not actively harming other people. Likewise, when we apply that to ourselves, we can lift some of the bonds that have been holding us back, that we can realize that we're not stuck to this particular destiny, or that we're not stuck to this particular set of circumstances in life because of what may have happened to us, or because of who used to be in our lives, or who is in our lives. Like, we can change a lot of these things, but we also have to be willing to change our beliefs about ourselves and our circumstances and where we're going, what we want. But it comes back to beliefs. So that's what I got for you today. I hope some of this is helpful to some degree. And as a helicopter flies overhead, I wish you well. Happy New Year again. And let's connect up. Hit me up anytime, lucascatton.com. And I'd love to hear from you. Until then, be well.